Middleman. Middleman. Middleman.
Hi, this is the Middlemen. We are jurors, and you are welcome to the arena where public concerns meet critical minds, where noise turns into clarity, and where complex matters are translated into balanced judgments that serve the people. Join me to welcome our fellow jurors. Juror Evans Ufeli, the juror from Rabbi, reveals that River State's fragile calm after Fubara's return hinges not just on security measures, but on genuine political reconciliation, socio-economic reforms, and accountable governance to break the cycle of unrest. His case is titled Rivers of Profuse Calumny. Juror Henry Igwebuike's case titled TINUBU'S CASH TRANSFERS, LIFELINE or PRETEND RELIEF, highlights that President Tinubu's 330 billion naira cash transfer scheme, while pitched as relief for Nigeria's poor, risks being dismissed as political theater of the absurd unless matched with transparency, accountability, and tangible impact on people's lives. Juror Emeka Madunagu presents a case titled Did Donald Trump Abort Tinubu's UK Visit?, which explains how Tinubu's aborted UK visit underscores the presidency more fixated on foreign validation and optics than on confronting Nigeria's deepening crisis at home. I, Juror Olajumoke Alawode-James, will show how Nigeria's so-called democracy increasingly resembles an autocracy, where selective justice and opaque governance erode both trust and true representation. My case is titled Nigeria's Democracy Autocratic. These conversations and more will come your way right after this break. Do stay tuned. The session begins right now.
Middleman.
Thanks for staying with us. This is the Middleman on Enterprise TV, and this is my case. Nigeria's democracy autocratic? If Nigeria's democracy makes the people helpless, then it's not for the people, and democracy ought to be for the people. I want someone to explain Nigeria's brand of democracy to me. Is it an autocratic democracy? How does an elected president remove an elected governor and the country couldn't do anything about it for 6 months? How does an elected senator suspend another elected senator for 6 months, and after that, moves were made to continue to keep her on suspension? People screamed on social media, yet nothing happened. Is the Nigerian judiciary now a toothless puppet, led by the piper who dictates the tune? I mean, governors went to the Supreme Court for determination on the state of emergency in River State. Silence for 6 months. Are they afraid of the president? Is the judiciary no longer independent? Then again, if it's the president who appoints the attorney general, how is she going to go against the president? Please explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old. How is the Nigerian state negotiating with terrorists up north and arresting the ones down south? Are there two different kinds of criminal laws? How is the Nigerian government claiming to have sent money to 8.1 million homes, and the beneficiaries are nowhere to be heard or seen? Is it audio? Where are the visuals? How were these people chosen? What were the criteria? Where do they live? Will the cash disbursements, if truly it happened, take those 8.1 million families out of poverty, or it's just money to hold the hunger till the next disbursements? Here's my verdict. I do not understand Nigeria's democracy. If I spend so much money and time to become a governor or a senator, and a colleague of mine, even though senior in hierarchy, can unilaterally suspend me and the people will stay quiet, I don't want to be a part of government. And if good people keep staying away from politics in Nigeria, we can't complain when we're led by the worst of us. Regardless of weaponized poverty, Nigerians must get up and take back the country like Nepal has done. Juror J drops mic.
Please.
Yeah. you have raised so many questions, and these questions fall at the heart of the Nigerian situation. Starting from the question of what kind of democracy
are we practicing?
Is it a democracy that is autocratic, which is a contradiction? Because there's nothing like that in the kinds of terms of government that we have seen. Or is it a democracy where the president suspends a governor who has a mandate, who is voted just like the president was voted into office? Or is it the kind of democracy where an elected senator, now an unelected senator, because I probably was not elected, not contest the election, gang up with his colleagues, elected or not, to suspend the democratically elected senator. So you see the contradiction and the convolution. Little wonder we are not making progress. You cannot have that kind of tapestry and then be making progress either economically, politically, or whatsoever. Because what you have is concussion. Not democracy. It's a system of government that's headed nowhere. It's not even known to any kind of system of government. The type where the president comes out and says that so billions, or the president handler, or the president appointee comes out and says so billions have been transferred to the poorest of the poor.
And we do not know the poorest of the poor.
And then you cannot find anybody. So irresponsible. You understand? So by the time you put up all these lies together and all this lopsidedness, the question you ask yourself is that the APC government, what did they really come to do? Did they really come to govern? Or they came to share money and to destabilize the whole thing? Because right now, as I speak to you, there's no area of the Nigerian system that is making any progress. Is it in education? Are we making progress in education? As is going on strike. Is it in medicals? The doctors are about to go on strike and they intercepted them. Is it in
technology or manufacturing?
Technology, or is it in the petroleum this thing? They almost went on strike not too long ago and all that. So this country is getting hopeless by the day. And someone said yesterday that in the next 5 years, this country may be like Afghanistan. And I've been pondering over it since yesterday. This guy, is this a prophecy, or you better...
Is it a curse?
You better not turn out true, because... But we have met all the conditions for such. I mean, we're heading towards that kind of direction. I think this is unfortunate.
Yes, I equally feel that there's no democracy anywhere in the world that's utopian. And therefore, we don't expect Nigeria equally to be a utopian society where everything is perfect. We don't see that. But the situation where democracy is practiced like dictatorship, then it's no longer democracy but electoral authoritarianism. We call it democratic backsliding.
Higi Haga.
In political science.
Democratic Higi Haga.
So that's what we are having in Nigeria. Yesterday I was going through TikTok and a parliamentarian from Ghana was making a mockery of our democracy and the way we run our elections here. He said that, God forbid, Ghana experiences a situation where, like in Nigeria, there are two major parties in Nigeria. And when Nigerians vote in favor of Party A, in fact, they called it PDP and APC, so let me not give them Party A, Party B. He said when Nigerians vote in favor of the PDP, right, couple of months after, because they don't like the APC people, the big wigs in the APC, will now pack themselves and go to the PDP and ask for forgiveness. And they'll be given portfolios. The next election cycle, Nigerians will say, okay, APC didn't do well. Let's vote for...
No, PDP didn't
do well. Let's vote for APC. Now, the people from the PDP will now move again to...
Charlie. No, but but hold on. What happened?
But that's the truth.
What happened in UK in the past few years?
What happened in the UK?
the election set from conservative to Labour down like that. You know, and the way it's looking, is looking like the next election, Labour will not remain in power.
No, it's not about the defection.
It's the defection of political power.
He's saying they are the same people moving from one government to another.
Yes.
Okay, bro,
nothing will change.
yeah, I thought they meant the political choices.
No. Talking about the people.
No, the thing is because there's no political culture.
And there's no
For
law.
any system to survive, for any corporate outfit to survive and thrive and succeed, there must be a culture. But there's no culture to our democracy, and that is the sad thing. So people just do what they like. People say all kinds of horrible things. And the media.
A journalist.
No, I am part of the media, and I must say it.
You are a
the
journalist.
Nigerian media is actually a major threat to this democracy.
Have we been captured?
It's been long. The media, you see, this one is even worse than capture.
Ewo.
This one is that the media that knows that if democracy fails, they are among the first casualties.
Ewo.
I've had cause to say it to my colleagues, and I say, listen, you will not have any job. Oh.
If democracy fails.
If this democracy fails, we will not have any job.
But America has been like this all
no.
Historically, when you take a look at or you go
through can I tell you something?
Of the media in Nigeria,
can I tell you something?
It's always been owned by people.
No, it's not about
Who use
ownership.
that
I'm talking of the culture. Today, September 18 makes me 30 years in the media. I've seen things. Many of us were very young, rookie journalists then. My first feature story was that of Pebble Link Road. It was then being built by Marwa. It was being built by Marwa. That was my first story as a journalist, my first feature story. I was reporting there for every day until every day until October 30th before I was given a letter. So I was just working for free. I was funding myself, that was my newsroom. I'll report there, watch what they were doing, go around, I was going around everywhere, interviewing people, asking questions, then I'll come back like that, until I was given a letter by October 30th. I said, okay.
You are now a proper journalist.
You are now a proper journalist. You are now employed. So, what am I talking about? We fought the military. We sent the military out of power. Why are we now doing things to, aid
the military coming back?
The military coming back.
Weaponize poverty. Because all journalists, brown envelope has become legalized. It's not longer brown, it's white. We want to even see the colors of the currency within. And again, materialism, where all is the survival of the fittest. Everybody is fighting for survival. So rather than do your job professionally, which is to be the fourth arm of governance, right, and hold every other of the three arms accountable, you are more interested in what's in it for me. So when you see something that threatens democracy, as far as it benefits you, somebody is handing you an envelope, you would turn the other way rather than report it the way it ought to be.
I don't think it's only journalists that are affected in this thing.
We're culpable because the pen is mightier than the sword. If journalists would set the agenda, if newspapers, TV stations, radio stations, every journalist is reporting how democracy ought to be and what we currently have, this autocratic democracy, and we're setting the agenda so much so that
an independent press or
well,
it still boils down to the same
listen,
thing. If I am a politician and I run a media house, all right, it falls on the table of
the social media,
whoever it is in charge of that media house, to say what I want.
The social media.
Yes.
A lot of media stations now take even their topics from what's happening on social media. So if you as a journalist, you cannot say it on the platform of your owner who is dictating the tune. You can put it out on social media. We know that it's authentic because it's coming from you, a trained journalist, and we can run with it. But all of them keep quiet.
One of the solutions I think we have to emphasize is that, just like over the weekend, I was listening to Mosiba just message
Yes.
at the 84th, I think
80th.
80th birthday
Of
of
Bishop Mike Okonkwo.
Bishop Mike Okonkwo. I don't know how many people saw that.
I listened to it.
That was the most powerful thing I've ever heard in the last 10 years. What Ashura just did there. It talked about how Christian values were used to revolutionize the economy of the West. And that how if we can apply it and imbibe it early enough, bringing the younger generation to understand that hard work is divine. It's not foolishness. That all these principles were taught and applied by the Protestants and the Methodist movement at that time. And it changed the whole of the West. You understand? So we need to start to groom young people with ethics and value. That is the only way we can try to, because our generation, we're already fixated on survival.
Very true.
And we think that it's when we collect bribe that we will survive. The same way you are living, the same way you still go to live,
Very
whether
true.
you collect bribe or not. So why don't we just, change this whole thing and let the younger generation learn the right thing from us so that they can uphold the standards and take over from there.
Some of the issues that I've raised in my my case will also be discussed in some of the other cases that we have. We will take a quick break, and when we return, Juror Evans Ufeli will be here to present his case titled Reverse of Profuse Calumny. To stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Middleman. 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 Middleman.
Of jurors. The pantheon of jurors. In the hallowed halls of justice, where echoes of truth intertwine with whispers of despair, there stands Olajumoke Alawode-James, a radiant figure sculpted by the universe, with a beauty akin to a stallion galloping through fields of reckoning. Clad in the armor of eloquence, her voice pierces the thick veil of complacency, unraveling cases that cradle the very essence of Nigeria's collective agony. She stands a sentinel over a nation laid bare, beckoning it to rise from the ashes of its own dissolution, crying out for a redemption that dances just beyond reach. Next emerges Evans Ufeli, a sage, with a heart that beats in harmony with the rhythm of justice, an advocate driven by a fervent dream of egalitarian dawn. Each week, he unfolds a scroll of cases bestowed upon him by the wise rabbi, a craft woven with...
Welcome back to the Middlemen of Jurors. My case, Reverse of Profuse Calumny. Port Harcourt in Rivers State is my place of birth and home to many who watch the city's politics closely. With Governor Fubara resuming office after the expiration of the state of emergency, questions about a durable return to peace in Rivers State are pressing. The prospects of peace are conditional. Short-term calm depends on visible action to stabilize security. The withdrawal of reorientation of emergency security measures, clear chains of command for policing, rapid response to outbreak of violence, and cooperation between state and the federal security agencies. If the governor prioritizes impartial law enforcement and restore trust in security institutions, the immediate atmosphere can improve. Longer term peace hinge on political reconciliation and governance reform. Rivers State unrest has roots in factional politics, perception of exclusion, and competition for resources and appointments. A credible process of dialogue that includes rival political actors, traditional leaders, civil society, and youth representatives could reduce incentives of violence. Transparent, merit-based appointment and public financial management will also lower tension. Socioeconomic drivers must be addressed. High unemployment, weak public service, and contested revenue flow amplified grievances. Targeted investment in infrastructure, social programs, and livelihood opportunity for young people are essential complements for security measures. Accountability and the rule of law matters. Prosecution for politically motivated violence, consistent protection of free assembly, and respect for judicial outcomes will discourage future impunity. External stakeholders, the federal government, business community, and development partners can support mediation and reconstruction while avoiding partisan backing. My verdict, in summary, Fubara's return creates an opening for de-escalation, but peace is not automatic. It will require a mix of immediate security management, inclusive political dialogue, concrete socio-economic interventions, and sustained institutional reforms. The onus is on the state leaders and partners to translate that opening into durable stability. Citizens and civil society must monitor progress and hold leaders accountable to it. I shall go to Rabbi again.
How governors, 34 others, 35 others, because there are 36 governors, kept quiet for a whole 6 months, watching Fubara, like the whole country cannot do anything about one dictator dictating outside of the constitution for 6 months, and all of us were watching Fubara, and then they are now celebrating. Abbas went to do Thanksgiving on Sunday.
You know why everybody was trapped? The institution that is responsible for checking the president's abuse and excesses.
Judiciary.
No.
The legislature.
The legislature, yeah,
is rubber stamp.
Yeah, they are the one that have the power for impeachment. I mean, that's how the president is checked.
Yes.
They were not even legitimate. Yeah, they have legitimacy issues to answer, the likes of Akpabio and the rest of
that didn't go to election at all, and is the Senate president.
Yes, so
somebody with EFCC cases.
We are trying to put something on nothing.
But you know, the president said there are 40 cases pending, but that Fubara should resume. While Akpabio said there is one court case pending and Natasha cannot resume.
Can you imagine?
So, I mean, of what use?
That's the contradiction.
That's the contradiction. You know, in your case, the contradiction.
Yes.
You know,
autocratic democracy.
Yes, and then the judiciary has gone on break. The only thing the judiciary did was just yesterday when it when it ruled on Ayedatiwa's election.
I don't want to be calling names because
no, it's time we need to call names. Yes.
Justice Kekere Ekon has questions to answer.
Somebody who was on the panel of judges that said Hope Uzodinma came forth in the Imo governorship election won. So what did you? I didn't expect anything from her.
No, but that case.
Sincerely speaking,
each time we mention that case, let's mention the details of that case. You understand? Because if we keep doing it like this, we're making it look like the man brought a result and say, court, this result was part of the result, was not counted. If they count this and add to what I won.
But they counted
And
it
the
and it
adverse
was
party.
more than voters.
No. The adverse party
Did not come to court.
did not rebut it. It was admitted in evidence. Like they didn't say anything. That is what's his name? That other PDP guy there. His legal team did not say anything
They
about.
were watching
not
film.
rebut, nothing to rebut. If you know, silence means admission in law.
Well, it was highly
So when the law,
actually.
when they admitted it and joined it to what is called, would you still say it?
But they added their mathematics and votes were more than voters. I remember the case very well.
Yeah, the issue is this: the party that's supposed to rebut that
I
evidence
understand what you mean.
did not rebut it.
no, but the
Nigeria's
evidence,
democracy.
but was
I
the
don't
evidence
know.
solid?
No, the evidence came from INEC. It is a detached copy that was given to police. You know, they give police what do you call it?
Agents. Party agents.
So now, what the legal team want to have done was to present the one
that was
they
given
have,
to the party agent.
yes, and use it to
Counter.
the one that this man brought from police, and tell the court that they are not the same.
Oh God.
So if you do not do that, what it means is that you
have agreed.
Yes, now that part of it.
And then he went and he just went home like he's waiting for Hope Uzodinma to finish and he'll come and do second term.
If you look at even the theatrics there that happened, you know, the way Ihedioha shook hands with Hope Uzodinma.
Like say they were family.
Yeah, I felt there was something highly suspect in all of that. But going back to the
Fubara
thing,
the case.
You know, the truth remains that peace without justice is like a pause between storm. Right? Just like you know, a silence cannot supersede harmony. For the fact that there's silence doesn't mean there's harmony.
Yes, doesn't mean there's harmony.
So what you see today in Rivers State for me is more like political escapism. You know, it hasn't been, you know, it's like postponing the evil days.
Yeah.
It is still there. I watched as
because we can still wake up.
No,
Exactly.
I learned that Wike has said all the old commissioners, the chief of staff, everybody must return. Even people who resigned and left the cabinet.
You see that we can
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
You see that we can started the fire again.
Exactly.
This is just the beginning.
So more
If
trouble
Tinubu
ahead.
does not, if President Bola Tinubu does not
Call
put down
Wike to order.
and kick Wike out.
Unfortunately, President Tinubu does not know that Wike is the one.
He needs Wike.
Okay,
He is
thank you.
looking at personal interest that Wike has promised him re-election. And the way Wike did it in Rivers State in 2023, if he can do it in Rivers and Abuja for him, look whatever Wike wants to go and do.
But you know,
Fubara better go and beg him.
He has said that Wike is a good man.
But you know, in
Don't say that for you.
2023, something happened in Rivers State. The Labour Party candidates did not take the campaign seriously. People rooted for Labour Party because of Peter Obi, not because of the governorship candidate. It was a woman. If you remember when Obi went on campaign in Rivers, he didn't meet with the woman.
But we're talking presidential election.
No, I'm talking about even the governorship that produced Fubara.
Yeah.
Yes. Go on, Barrister.
Wike infiltrated Labour in
Rivers State.
Yes. I have a friend who worked closely then. He's a lawyer.
Nigeria's democracy.
So just the same way Wike funded the collapse of Magnus Abe
Yes.
in APC to ensure that their primaries, you see that scattered primaries that they did,
Yes.
Wike was the one that orchestrated it. So when they went to court, the court then said that Rivers did not have governorship candidates. Rivers, APC, Rivers and Zamfara. You remember?
I remember.
Do not have. Wike funded that.
The chaos.
Yeah, as they were conducting the primaries, Wike ensured that another faction conducted another primaries. So and ensured that they submitted names the way the other faction submitted names to INEC.
Imagine.
You understand? So when they got to INEC too, they now had to go to court to have the court make a pronouncement as to which of the two fashion
was legal.
Yeah, was legal.
But why was it different in the case of Edo? Between Denis Idahosa and Monday Okpebholo?
Yes.
You know, the same thing happened.
We were expecting that the precedent
Yes.
already laid down
Yes.
in Zamfara and Rivers was going to be applied. But you see, Rivers was even more deafening because at some point, the PDP had three candidates for the primaries. And then the APC had 2. You understand? I think the APC, they were able to resolve theirs, but it lingered. So we were expecting a situation where Akpata would have because if we really want to apply what happened, Akpata would have made it through because Labour Party was the only party and other parties that did their primaries in the way the law said it was done. So the court took a different route, and that's another issue. So we'll take a short break, and when we return, Juror Henry Igwebuike will step in with a case titled TINUBU'S CASH TRANSFERS, LIFELINE or PRETEND RELIEF. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Middleman. 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 Middleman.
Threads of profound thought and searing urgency. His lamentation for the plight of the people rises like a haunting melody, reverberating through a land where self-inflicted wounds twist the tendrils of allegiance into knots of a servitude, traded for nothing more than a pittance, a morsel of bread amidst the hunger of the soul. Then strides forth Emeka Madunago, a linguistic maestro, armed with knowledge as dense as the forest, each word a carefully sharpened arrow aimed at the heart of injustice. He ventures onto this hallowed platform armed with solutions, a veritable panacea for the ail of his compatriots. Emeka unyielding locks eyes with the elite, unflinching in his resolve as he speaks. Thank you for staying with us. My case, TINUBU'S CASH TRANSFERS, LIFELINE or PRETEND RELIEF. The TINUBU'S administration recently announced that the federal government has disbursed 330 billion naira in cash transfer to poor Nigerians through the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office. On paper, that is. This sounds praiseworthy of a government stepping up to cushion the harsh impact of inflation, unemployment, and the rising living cost in Nigeria. But many Nigerians are asking, if this relief is real, why does it feel so hollow? They would ask. Now, for starters, the amount seems massive and impressive, yet the number of recipients, the selection process, and the timing of the payments remain shrouded in opacity. Many intended beneficiaries still report never receiving a dime. Some who have claimed the amount were paltry, long delayed, or offset by new costs in transport, inflation, or bureaucratic fees. It's painful to see a government building lit and fanfare around the announcement when women in markets and households in rural areas are unable to afford basic food staples. Then there's the optics, the same leadership that touts Cash transfer also presides over subsidies, lavish official travel, sky-high cost of living, and a weak enforcement of anti-corruption laws. The contrast between the political spectacle of a generous government and, wait for it, the reality of many Nigerians still without electricity, clean water, and stable food prices creates a chasm of distrust. Now, my verdict. Cash transfer are not inherently bad. In fact, they are necessary in crisis. But when they become more about public relations than relief, they breed cynicism. 330 billion naira sounds like help, but without transparent implementation and measurable outcomes, it becomes political theater. Until the TINUBU government ensures accountability, clarity, and real impact, such transfer risk becoming another layer of hypocrisy in Nigeria's long list of broken promises. Jurors.
Well, the interesting thing for me is that how can you say some people have received 25,000 twice, some thrice, and then we are complaining about poor funding of hospitals. Many state governments have health insurance, which is 10,000 or 12,000 a year. Why not simply take 12,000, put into the National Health Insurance Scheme, so that you can cover, you said 8.1 million households. So 8.1 million households, if that 25,000 will provide health insurance for 2 people. And then across 8.1 million, that will be 16.2 million, right? And then with it, if you keep doing that every quarter, the coverage for health insurance will be almost 70,000, which is about maybe 1/3 of the Nigerian population. So, but the thing is that, the big problem we have in Nigeria is this elite bubble. Our leaders live in an elite bubble. They think the ordinary people, all they need are just cash handouts. Give them rice. And then when you do this empowerment, you mop up rice from the markets. And then you increase the price, because when it becomes scarce, the price is increased. You even create more problems for the people.
Inflation.
You import rice from abroad. And then you say you are crashing food prices. Why do you need to crash food prices? What you need to do is remove the policemen, the military, the local government, the state government, the thugs on the highways, extorting drivers. So that if somebody is bringing foodstuff from Kano to Lagos, you don't have to pay almost 1 million naira in bribes. Yeah. That is what makes price of food items expensive.
True.
Then there are things you're not saying that if people say there's scarcity of beef, people should be eating insects and
crayfish.
No, where's even the crayfish?
Insects.
When the simple thing,
the worm and the rest of that.
The simple thing is this: you can import fingerlings. When Trump came in, eggs were expensive in America. So what did they do? They went to some countries, Poland and some other countries. They imported eggs into the US. While they were trying to balance everything. So you import fingerlings. We have so many rivers everywhere, ponds and all that.
Throw them in.
You throw them into these ponds and all that. They will find natural feed. And before you know what's happening,
we have fish.
They were acclimatized.
Like Lagos Lagoon, you recharge it. You recharge our rivers.
They do that now. They do that now abroad. There
was a time when this dam, or your dam, was opened and beside the long bridge was full. While we were in traffic, I was seeing different kinds of fish. Big catfish jumping up and down. And I said, why can't we, have this kind of system whereby inside the dam, if you can recharge the dam, and whenever they are releasing water, as it's going, the fish will follow it down to the Lagos Lagoon. And that way, you will have abundance of, but
the government have not even cleaned the water.
Yeah, well,
check our water.
There's feces. There's feces in the water.
When you not just feces, there's feces and there's spillage of oil.
Yes.
So that's what
and then plastics.
That's what keeps it brown. And then the plastic keeps it very dirty.
So the fish, if they eat it, they will die.
Yes. So the
so
climate change.
My math is not excellent, right? So I just calculated 8.1 million divided by 37 states. If they did it, if they did it across the country and they chose the same number of households, it would be 218,000 households per state, right? I just want to see 10,000 households in Lagos that got their transfer.
There's no way this thing would have happened. I will not know.
We have family members. I live here.
We're all interconnected now.
I have security men. I have drivers. They are neighbors. Who did you send the money to?
No,
how come it's not you?
That Buhari, I tried to investigate that cash transfers.
I
called the coordinators for Ogun State and I now asked them, what about, look at where I live, look at Logo. No, that is an urban no government. You have a lot of people who are well to do. When we went towards the poor. I said, no, here we have widows, we have widowers, we have orphans, we have poor people. Look, if you want right now,
Emeka,
I can give you 100 poor people here. That is, we will snap their photo and send to you. You can give me the addresses.
You know what is even particular about Lagos State is that there are over 100 and counting slums. Over 100 and counting slums in Lagos. Extreme poverty in the midst of luxury. So you look at the estates in Lekki, Ikoyi, VI, and think, and then you look at on our roads, traffic, big cars everywhere. So you think, this one is urban, but yeah,
it's like that all over the world.
It's like that all over the world.
Canada is worse.
If you go,
when you go to the difference between the downtown of cities.
The way you even know it in Lagos, that is around the state, is when you have your Ikoyi. There's Obalinde right next to it.
Yeah.
You have Apapa. There's Ajegunle
There's
right next to it.
A community.
Is like in my estate, right? There's an empty plot of land, right? That the family, there's litigation on the land.
Yeah,
there are now security men, drivers of people within the estate, rather than using transport to go to Abule Egba, they now go and buy 2x2 meters and put tents.
No, they pay rent too.
Yes, now 30,000 per year. Because my estate wanted to evacuate all of them. We are paying rent. The landowner's son is collecting 30,000 per year from those people. So that's how you have poor communities beside rich communities.
And one thing about those kind of communities, that those guys you see there, they are very heavy on procreation.
Yes, now their only entertainment is procreation. During COVID-19, we had to put together money, estate residents, and started doing palliative.
In a space of 5 years, they can multiply that population by 9.
As if you see them outside on that, in that one plot of land, if you see the numbers
coming out,
over 500 people living on one plot of land.
Then they will now put pressure on the public school there.
Yes.
Put pressure on the facilities.
The primary healthcare center.
On the road, on sanity, because they will be throwing shit.
They throw shit too. One kiosk opposite, and every day that they throw shit.
So at the end of the day, even the elite that live there, they cannot survive.
So how, if you are choosing 200,000 households per state, where are they in Lagos? Where are they in Abuja? Where are they in Osun?
If we have the right kind of National Assembly, by now, we will not be asking this question. National Assembly will have summoned the Minister of Finance. I think they pass it through the Minister of Disasters, humanitarian, whatever. Those ones will have the records.
Yeah.
So summon them, CBN, and let them come and tell us these persons. Let them bring this thing. Let's see the bank account.
Show us data.
Let's see how this money. We cannot just be making expressions like this without verification.
I want us to talk maybe after this case, Sha. If the National Assembly is moribund and very useless to our democracy, what can we, the people, do?
The people can congregate as an assembly. It's allowed by law. The law says record them. Our law is very stiff. It's difficult to record. You see, this Nepal thing they did, pursued that. They assembled and took a decision. Yeah, that's impeachment. Impeachment
by the people.
By protest, yes. They impeach the leadership. So if the National Assembly refuse to do what they are supposed to do, it's for the people to congregate. As someone said that less than 20 million people have been, okay, less than 200,000 people chased away, change a regime in Nepal. Why?
Very true.
Why over 200 million people were queuing for rice in Lagos?
In Lagos.
You understand? So this contradiction.
Let's leave it.
It doesn't look like we're ready to change our story. No, where's your priority? I mean, it doesn't look like we're ready to change our story.
No, Guinness World Record.
Leave our Udabasi.
Udabasi did well. Congratulations.
Nigeria. Congratulations, Nigeria.
I congratulate her.
Some people say they want to make some other kinds of maybe like this.
Well, yeah.
Somebody said, some people said they will cook beans.
No, she came out and said she never said she's going to cook beans. That she's congratulated. There's another lady that came out that she wants to do another one like that. So congratulations to her. I actually commended her effort. But what I'm saying is the people, the followers, because we could have used that opportunity to collect rice, and from that rice point we'll start to protest.
Yes.
Yes, so let them come and tell us what exactly they are doing with our resources and this information they are giving, and they are sending money to these people. I don't think any money was sent anywhere. I don't think so.
All right. Of course, it's still a hypocrisy, and a big one, that the federal government had gifted Nigerians, they say the poor of the poor, 330 billion, but made available 300 billion for universities and teaching hospitals. Well, this is where we would leave it, but Juror Emeka Madunagu will present his case when we return with the title, Did Donald Trump Abort TINUBU'S UK Visit? Right after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Truth to power with the father of a modern-day prophet. He advocates for a class suicide, a radical act of severance from the vines of greed that choke the very life of Nigeria, prescribing this sacrificial rite as the only balm for the nation's festering wounds. Now, we bear witness to Innocent Aduluba, a custodian of integrity, where honesty flows like a river untainted. His edges of sacred truth is fortified by the solid foundation of reason, delivering a symphony of clarity that dances gracefully along the social-cultural spectrum. Innocent, an oracle of the common people, channels their pulse, imbibing the essence of their struggles and transforming them into the language of the streets. His enlightenment becomes a lantern, guiding those lost in the shadow, illuminating pathways once obscured as he breathes life into the collective consciousness. Henry Igwebuike stands as a watchdog, a vigilant watcher of the tempest that permeates the fabric of Nigeria, a land once resplendent with the vibrancy of hope, now adrift in the murky waters of uncertainty. With a heart heavy, yet buoyed by fate, he ponders the fate of this great vessel, once sailed by the spirits of unity and promise, now battered by the storms of discord and strife. What port shall it find amidst the turmoil? Where does the compass?
Thanks for still being there. My case, did Donald Trump abort Tinubu's UK visit? Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu abruptly cut short his working leave to France and the United Kingdom after just 10 days and returned to Nigeria on Monday, September 15, 2025. Recall he left on September 4, 2025. While in France, he had a working lunch with President Emmanuel Macron at his office in Paris. This was amid the economic and political turmoil in France, which has claimed 2 prime ministers and led to street protests. A report said Macron had invited Tinubu over 2 blocks said to belong to a Nigerian oil firm. Macron was said to have pressurized Tinubu to consider the interests of a French oil company in both blocks. This was said to have caused serious ripples in international oil and gas circles. Tinubu was scheduled to hop into the UK for the rest of his leave, but suddenly flew back to Nigeria. There were claims that the British government wasn't disposed to allow him into their country because they were making preparations to receive US President Donald Trump. The question arose, was Tinubu trying to find a way to seek a push for a state visit to USA, which he has been craving since Trump got elected? My verdict: the desperation by this administration to be recognized abroad, even without ambassadors, is becoming comical. Instead of sitting at home to solve the country's problems, Tinubu continues to junket across the world in search of accolades and loans, while his minions make special claims about phantom economic recovery. When will he smell the coffee and realize that any country head seeking validation all over the world can never be taken seriously?
Very true. 3 things quickly, sir. Number 1, you have bought into Bayo Onuga's false claims of cut short for whatever reasons. Because when he was leaving, what he said was a 10-day leave. Number 2, how many leaves does he have in a year? Cause
he went on
vacation earlier.
It was a working visit, not leave. Working visit.
Okay. Number 3, I absolutely agree with your verdict, which is sit at home. Tidy up your own problems, political, economic, and socio-economic at home, rather than junketeering. But when you lack legitimacy, and a lot of us on social media will always say, when is he going to the US? Well, UN General Assembly is starting on Monday. Maybe he will go.
Oh, you know, he will go, definitely.
Because when you lack legitimacy, you'll be running helter-skelter, looking for it. Burkina Faso's dictator, they say I should stop calling him dictator, although that's what a military head is. Please remind me what his name is.
Traore.
Ibrahim Traore. He is not junketeering anywhere except to go and visit his friend Putin and come back home. He's tidying up his house. So you have bigger issues at home. President Tinubu, sit at home.
You know, since this administration, since May 29, 2023, according to records, President Bola Tinubu has visited about 25 countries. He has traveled over 36 times.
Oh God, Ajala!
2 years.
And the total money he said he would bring to Nigeria is about $50 billion.
How much has he brought?
How much has he brought, or how much has landed to Nigeria?
He keeps saying he's going to look for investors. I don't understand.
Will investors come into an insecure environment?
You don't even need to look for investors.
Just create an enabling environment.
Just let the environment be there. Let these people, let it come out on global media that we've captured Bello Tuji. We've captured the other fellow. We've captured the other band leaders. And then the people can now go ahead and farm.
Our obsession for abroad. Do you notice over the weekend that they made Chinese language?
Although we do a lot of business with the Chinese, I'm learning Chinese.
I did business.
They have a department in Unilag. In fact, they have a school in Unilag.
Even
as we are promoting those languages, we should be promoting our own local languages too.
Yeah, because Americans are now teaching our local language.
But see, this is the point I wanted to drive at. Nigeria is a massive market with 200 million going on 250 million people, right? Even without telling them that you have arrested 2G or all the bandits, they will come. They know that once you bring your dollars and your pounds, it turns into multi-billions of naira. You will hire policemen that will be cocking gun behind you in armored vehicle. You will secure your investment. It's because the environment is not. See ShopRite, I can mention them. Ilorin, Ibadan, closed down. Lagos, empty.
Yes.
No, that's bad management.
Because the real owners, why did they sell?
Why did they leave? No ShopRite closed down their businesses.
They sold because their business was threatened by power supply and so many. The ease of doing business.
Remember that many years ago, we had all sorts of foreign investors in Nigeria. But did any military dictator in all the military interregna that we had, were they chasing the investors the time all of them were coming to Nigeria to do business?
But how come?
Projo Assembly and all of those things.
But how come SPA is still doing business? Some other, you still have some other
supermarkets.
Shops.
Look, it's like asking me why is Nestle still doing business, or why is Nigerian bottling
No,
company?
they've been able to adopt import substitution. Every business they are now getting local
suppliers. They are getting local suppliers,
yes.
local raw materials also. But again, the quality of their products, you can't taste Nigerian Coke and Nigerian Milo and the foreign one. Is it the same?
They are not yet.
Not the same thing, no. I have the foreign one.
Those distortions are there. But you see, a place like ShopRite, for instance, we have issues with adulteration of drinks. If a place like ShopRite prides itself that, okay, here in ShopRite, you will get global quality, the best global quality to buy here, of course, you sustain your business. But when you just do anyhow, anything goes.
The ease of doing business in Nigeria is difficult. And you also mentioned something. You mentioned, I forgot what it is that you mentioned. I'll remember. But I mentioned that how can you be negotiating with terrorists in the north and capturing the ones in the south? You mentioned, just say that you have arrested the terrorists, and they will, and businesses will come. Is the ease of doing business, electricity, where it is now available, it is so expensive, you cannot even use it for manufacturing.
It's a cardinal sin not to have electricity, and you're expecting economic growth. What are you doing?
But you know what
how can you not have electricity and you're expecting economic growth?
But you know what they are doing now. You know what they are doing. The solution they brought was, if you can, Fashola as Minister of Power, he capped generation at 1 megawatt. So if you want a license with $2,500 or so, just go to NEC and apply.
Okay.
They will give you a license. You can generate with solar. So you can leave the national grid.
Leave the national grid for the rest of
That's what many people are doing, no? Many companies are now you leave the national grid.
My house has left the national grid.
No, but you're not generating up to 1 megawatt.
No, of course not.
So don't worry. When you get on
do you need NEC approval to generate through solar?
Yes.
It's
on their website.
For personal use.
For up
to 1 megawatt.
Personal use.
To distribute.
Yes.
No, to generate. Then to distribute, you need another license. So 1 mega is like 2,500 kVA transformers. You know. So like yours, when you get to 1 megawatt, just invite me. I'll come and take off an apartment there.
It takes a lot to generate 1 megawatt. It takes a lot.
Yes, but if you have a good market, I even learned that Nigerian banks now are even looking for people who want to get generation license. That if you bring a good proposal, somebody was telling me that in one of the commercial banks that they funded it for somebody. For one company recently, that if you bring a bankable proposal, they will fund it for you, and so that's the smart way by which government has now dodged responsibility. Aso Rock has run away from the national grid.
President Buhari signed that one. President Buhari did that one.
Back to President
Tinubu's
travels.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel so
and ashamed. Quick return this time.
Exactly. Many times I feel so ashamed when Cameroonians compare their Paul Biya, their grandpa Paul Biya, to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, when you listen to them,
they're not the same thing.
They are almost the same. Paul Biya literally leads or rules
outside of Cameroon,
from France,
because he's too old to be traveling back and forth. He has stayed in Paris.
Next year, he will still run for election again. So
at 95 going on 100
to 99. That's if he's alive till then. So this is the problem we found ourselves.
It's fortunate that Cameroon is a very small country with a very small
and they are very docile.
Very small. Their army they don't have the virus.
They are very docile. They have accepted their fate that their grandfather will be their father forever.
So that's the fortunate thing about. That's why it's doing all that.
Yeah. And that brings us to the close of this session of the Middlemen. Today, the jurors have made their cases, raised the tough questions, and left us all with truths we cannot ignore. But remember, the dialogue continues beyond this platform. Connect with us online at Enterprise TV 7 across all social media and share your own verdicts. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay engaged, and never stop demanding accountability. From all of us here at Enterprise TV 8, goodbye. Goodbye for now.
Middleman.